All right, welcome back. Today it will be slightly different in the way I'm recording it. So my picture is not here, but hopefully it still works out for us. So today we're on 6b.4. Today's lesson should be easier than yesterday, but if we are having a function and it's described to us, we want to know, can we write this function? Okay, so today we're not going to worry about phase shifts. We're just going to be worried about what is the midline, what is the amplitude, and what is our period. So if we look here, we have our two formulas, y equals a sine of bx plus c, and y equals a cosine of bx plus c. As you can see, these two different ones, they're the same, except instead of sine, it's cosine. Now, a, and we should already know this, but what's in front of sine or cosine is our amplitude. Oops, I need my pen. So amplitude. Okay, this, remember, is the distance above or below the midpoint. And technically, I guess that a should actually have an absolute value. Amplitude has to be positive. If there's a negative sign there in front of it, it can cause it to flip, but the amplitude is still a positive because it is a distance. Okay, now our next one, the b term. Whatever's in front of the x, inside those parentheses there, that helps us find the period. Okay, so it helps find the period. And we know that our period is equal to 2 pi divided by b. So it's equal to 2 pi divided by b. Now the final one, c. This c value, that's our vertical shift. If it's plus c, that means it goes up. If it's minus c, that means it goes down. So the vertical shift, and the vertical shift will also match up with where is your midline at. Okay, so if we look here, it says write a sine function that has a midline of 4, an amplitude of 2, and a period of 5 pi over 4. Now, the amplitude is here, the midline's 4, so we know what the vertical shift is. We don't know what b is, though. So whatever the period is, we're going to set equal to 2 pi over b and solve. So the period here is 5 pi over 4. So if 5 pi over 4 equals 2 pi over b, now we can cross multiply. We'll get 8 pi equals 5 pi b. Divide by 8 pi. Cancels. Divide by 8 pi. The pi's cancel. And I just realized, whoops, I made a mistake. Instead of dividing by 8 pi, we want to divide by 5 pi. We need to get b by itself. So my apologies. Divided by 5 pi, that cancels. Divided by 5 pi. The pi's will cancel, and we're left with b will equal 8 over 5. All right, so at this point, now we know that the amplitude, so y equals, the amplitude is 2. You know that from right here. So 2 times the sine. I know it's sine because it told me. Okay, our b value is 8 over 5. Put the x in there. And then don't forget plus whatever the midline is, which in our case is 4. All right, our next one. Once again, we need to find that b value first. So here it says our period is 2 pi, so we set 2 pi equal to 2 pi divided by b. The reason I have 2 pi divided by b, that's what the period is always equal to. Now on the left side, let's put it over 1 so we can cross multiply. We'll get 2 pi equals 2 pi b. We can divide by that 2 pi, cancels, divide by 2 pi, that cancels out, and we will find that b is going to equal 1. And then all we have to do is write it. So y equals whatever the amplitude is, so in our case 3. Now cosine, and then it's just 1x or x, whatever you want to do. And then we know it's plus whatever the midline is, which in our case, the midline is 7. Okay, so 2 more like this. If we look here on number 3, we're going to write a sine function as a midline of 1, an amplitude of 1, and a period of 4 pi. So once again, 4 pi, we'll set it equal to 2 pi over b. That's what we always set it equal to. I'm going to put 4 pi over 1 so I can cross multiply. I'll get 2 pi will equal 4 pi b. We can divide by 4 pi. We'll cancel, divide by 4 pi. The pi's cancel. 2 over 4 reduces to 1/2, and that is what b is. So now y equals, the amplitude is 1, so I can put 1 sign or I can just put sign, it doesn't matter. Now instead of just x, I have to put 1/2 x, close your parentheses, and it has a midline of 1, so that's our vertical shift plus 1. All right, example 4. Write a sine function that has a midline of 0, an amplitude of 4, and a period of pi. So our sine, once again, well, it'll be y equals, I forgot, we got to take our period. Let's do pi over 1, set that equal to 2 pi over b. We'll cross multiply. We'll get 2 pi equals pi b. We divide by pi, those cancel, divide by pi. Pi's cancel, we're left with b equals 2. So y equals whatever our amplitude is goes first, so 4. Then it's a sine function, so sine, put your parentheses, and in this case we will have 2x, close it, plus whatever the midline is. Our midline is 0. We could put plus 0, could put minus 0. I'm just going to leave it off. We don't even need to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll down. We've got one other type of problem that we're going to look at today. And here, the reason we're doing this, these are screenshots, but you guys will do problems like this on Delta Math. Okay, so the original function here, this is a sine function, the black one. We want to get it onto the dotted line. We want to know how we can do that. So if we look here, there's the 3 options, your A, your B, and your C. The amplitude of our new one doesn't change from the midline here. If it helps you, we can think the midline's right here at 2. It's still up 1 and down 1, so that is a value of 1. Now it shifted up, so we know it's going to be plus 2. Now to find your period, start here. At the y-axis, it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it reaches back here. This is where it completes 1 cycle. That's at 2 pi. So our period's 2 pi. Put it over 1, equal to always 2 pi over b. We'll cross multiply. Now here you'll notice 2 pi is on top on both sides. The only way this can be true is if b is 1. In case you didn't see that, cross multiply, 2 pi equals 2 pi b. We'll divide by 2 pi. Those cancel, divide by 2 pi. Those cancel, b will equal 1. So just x or 1x. Okay, 2 more examples. On this one, looks like I accidentally forgot to erase that, but as you can see, right there is our midline. It's 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. Now our amplitude is 3. However, you might notice the peaks and valleys are flipped, which means the original function was flipped. So instead of just putting a 3 in front, I actually need to put minus 3 out front. Now the midline occurs at 1, so that's going to be plus 1 here. We need to look again, what is the period? So here's the valley, it goes up, and then all the way back down. That occurs at 2 pi. So just like the last one, the period was 2 pi, which means b would be 1. So I can put a 1 right there. Okay, anytime the period is 2 pi, you know b is 1. Now the final one, this one's a little different. The period is not going to be 1. It goes much quicker. So first, let's identify our midline. So the midline is right here at -3. So over here, I'm going to put a -3. Okay. Now, what is the amplitude? From that midline, it's up 1 and it's down 1. So the amplitude would just be a 1 here. And your cosine of blank x, that b. So first, we got to find what our period is. So it starts here at the peak, it goes down and then back up. So pi over 2 right there, that would be 1 period. Now if pi over 2 is a period, we set that equal, as always, to 2 pi over b. We cross multiply, we're going to get 4 pi equals pi b. Here we'll divide by pi, those will cancel, divide by pi, that'll cancel, we're left with b equals 4. So then I fill that in and I'm done. So you will have problems like both of these on your Delta Math assignment for today. If you have any questions, please reach out. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Please remember to do the quiz on Friday. It should not be that hard. Just get it done.